In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the Nomatic travel bag, not to be confused with their travel pack. I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, and we do reviews like this all the time. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's jump right into the Nomatic travel bag review. The Nomatic travel bag looks like a giant box on your back because that's basically what it is. And the benefit that you get with a shape like this is that it's maximized for carrying a lot of things on with you while still being carry-on compliant with most airlines. Now, in contrast to something like, say, the Manal up there on the wall, there's a bit of a curved shape to it, and that adds a little bit of a look to it. I personally think that looks slick. You're not gonna find that with the Nomatic travel bag. What you are gonna gain is instead of having it curve here, you're gonna have that extra space here, since it's basically like a box. Nomatic boasts that the bag is made of strong, waterproof tarpaulin material that will last forever. Now, that quote falls a little bit flat when it comes to the entire design of the bag. So we do have the tarpaulin material here on the straps on this side. However, on the back, there is a ballistic weaved either polyester or nylon material, and there's a little bit of padding here and all that. And if you're using this in duffel mode and the ground is wet at all, this will just soak right through. So the top definitely has a better water resistance potential. The zippers are weather resistant as well. The only place where that claim really falls flat is this material on the back here. It's definitely not waterproof, although it's highly water resistant on every place on this bag except for here. There's a Nomatic logo on the bottom right-hand corner of the back of the bag so people can definitely see what type of pack you have. And there's this triangular pattern on some of the tarpaulin going on here. So some folks will be a fan of that, others won't. We kind of wish it was a little more minimalistic. That doesn't really feel necessary, but it does add a nice branding element to Nomatic. Wrapping it up, there is some durable Duraflex plastic hardware used throughout the pack. The travel bag features a very thick handle at the top here, just to kind of grab it, hanging on stuff, bring it around. And then you have a thinner handle on the bottom. I kind of wish they would have just taken this padding on each side and sort of just evened it out. So the bottom one had a little bit more padding, but the top one maybe had a little less, so it wasn't so bulky, but we'll live with it. Also, there's a pass-through section here so you can put it right onto a roller bag. This bag is intended to be a mix of a duffel bag and a backpack. So let's get into the harness system and talk about the features and the thinking behind that. So here you can basically pull these straps up and that will put it into duffel mode. So you can carry it by the handles here like that. And then that excess slack is sort of taken up by the straps when you put it into backpack mode. So that's a decently slick system. Better in thought than in practice for a couple of reasons. First of all, this bag is really wide, and when using it in duffel mode, you kind of have to hold it far away from your body. You can even go take a look at the marketing photos on Nomatic's website. You can actually see that people seem to be holding it far away from their bodies. Also, there is a button system on the duffel strap. So every time I had these buttoned up and I pulled this strap up, these buttons came unbuttoned. So there's definitely a lot of stuff in here that I had that I was carrying around with me, as anybody would with a pack of this size. And that's just something that shouldn't happen with this system. So I think that could have been thought through a little bit more. And lastly, the extra slack here makes it a little odd to put this thing on as a backpack. So a lot of the times I found myself slipping my hand and then getting it caught on here versus just slipping it right through the strap itself. Something you could probably get used to, but also something worth noting with this system. And we'll move on to the hip belt, which is kind of more like a stomach belt for me and my height, but it's definitely nice that they have a detachable version. I love when travel bag companies do this. They offer a hip belt, but they also allow it to be detachable. Not everyone may want a lot of those hip belts flapping around all the time, so it's nice that Nomatic gives you the option. Also, the pockets here are slanted, so that kind of enables you to get a nice top-down look at what's inside of these pocketed hip belt compartments when you're wearing the bag. The only issue with the design of it is that it's not 3D. The pocket is not 3D and there's no flex in it. So if you're planning to put something long and rigid like your phone into it, it's not really gonna work out that well when you have the hip belt in use because you won't be able to curve it around your body. So if you're planning on putting a couple flatter items in here, that's totally fine. phone totally interrupts the function of that hip belt. And all of the other features live inside of the pack. So Nomatic has kept the outside pretty minimal. Again, just making that large rectangle that's gonna fit most carry-on sizes for most airlines. All the other functionality is inside. All right, so starting with the bottom of the pack, there's a nice shoe compartment here to hold your shoes. Really love when bag companies do that. I think it works out really well. And then one nice thing that Nomatic includes that's unique to this pack is this right here, which is basically a little laundry basket you can take out, untwist, boom, just hang on a doorway. And if you're not planning on washing your clothing at all on a trip, and you just kind of want to like fill up your dirty clothes in here and stuff it right back into your bag when you're done and you want to travel home, that's totally awesome. It can even be good for people on the road that are washing their clothes to kind of just have a place in the hotel room, the Airbnb, the hostel to hold your dirty clothes in between washes. Nice elastic band, just kind of keeps itself nicely in place. And then there's also an elastic band in that shoe compartment where you can just place that right into as well. There's a similar pocket on the top hand side, so that's just gonna unzip, open right up. It's a little bit smaller in height than it is on the bottom with the shoe compartment, but you have a lot of space here. And then also there's another pocket on the top, which is a weather resistant material compartment. So you can see there's like a shiny type Tarpy material for this. And the intention of that is to fit your water bottle inside of it. So since Nomatic didn't include any external water bottle compartments because they wanted to keep that boxy shape, you still have that option on this bag on top. Weatherproof material here that's gonna keep your stuff dry. Definitely, you can't fill this up with water, right? But if you have a water bottle in there, it drips around or it leaks a little bit, it's totally gonna be fine. Might also be good for toiletries if you wanna put those in there and just take them out quickly at security, since that zippered compartment is at the top of the pack. The reason why this pocket at the top is a little bit more narrow is because they leave some space here for a felt-lined quick grab pocket. Perfect for just stuffing in items into as you're going through airport security, just generally putting stuff in there that you want quick access to. Moving on to the side here, you've got a 2/3 pocket that goes here, and then a 1/3 pocket that goes there. One of the things about these pockets, again, is that it's gonna cut into that space inside of the bag, and it's not 3D, it won't stick out at all, which is good. However, when you're really packing the inside of that bag up, it can really eat into the sides and the space that you have available in these compartments. So just note that if the bag inside is stuffed, the pockets on the outside will seem smaller. Now moving around to the other side, this pocket fully opens up and reveals a bunch of additional organizational features, which is pretty great. So you have two stretchy mesh pockets down here at the bottom. You've got two kind of slider divider pockets here. You've got that felt material on this side as well. And then at the top here, this unzips with a pretty large compartment going on. On the other side, we have a pocket of similar size. However, it's lined with this RFID safe material. So that's gonna be good for things like passports, credit cards, your phone, anything that you wanna block from external signals. Whether you want a feature like this is totally up to you, but it's there should you utilize it. And also it's just generally a great pocket to have, even if you're not really concerned about that RFID electronic security. On this side, the best pockets are gonna be the zippered ones, because once you start putting things into these nylon stretchy pockets and these slider pockets over here, you put the bag up, it starts getting jostled around. A lot of that stuff is just gonna get unorganized and disorganized in your bag, start falling out. Granted, it's still inside of this zippered pocket, so you're not gonna lose anything. Obviously make sure that's zipped up completely, but you know, definitely the zippered compartments and pockets work a little bit better than these ones that are more open just for holding and organizing your stuff as you're using the bag. Now getting on to the main event, we're gonna take a look at this main clamshell compartment. When you open this up, it's basically a giant bucket inside. So there's a lot of room in here, very roomy compartment. Just keep in mind that, you know, the pockets on the bottom and these sides are gonna kind of eat into that main compartment. But if you're mindful of how you pack this thing, you have a ton of room. You can fit 2 rows of packing cubes within this thing, which is really great. Main compartment's really maximized for space. On this top tab here, this is where your laptop and tablet goes. So you have a little tablet pocket right here, and then you have a pocket up here for your laptop. Had no problem fitting in a 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now, the one part where this system gets a little bit weird is, one, if this bag is really full and you're closing it, you're kind of like slamming your laptop down to try to close it correctly. And then since your laptop goes in here, it makes this really rigid. So if you want to get anything outside of this main compartment and your laptop is inside, it's really hard just to kind of open this up a little bit, take a peek in and grab whatever you need, partially because of this security type of feature that they have here where the zipper is a little bit hidden. A great feature like as an anti-theft deterrent, makes it weird to peek inside of there. And in combination with this thing being super stiff, you kind of have to open it up completely like that to just get inside of this bag and get anything you want. It's harder to just like quick grab your hand in there and grab something. At the time of this review, we've been testing the Nomatic travel bag in cities like Joshua Tree, Los Angeles, Detroit, Minneapolis, and New York City. Overall, the durability and quality of the pack has held up. There's really no aesthetic dings on the material at all, and it looks pretty good and it's held up really well in that amount of testing. And with all this testing, we were able to look at all those smart and conceptual features and overall found that a couple of them didn't really work as well in practice than they did from a logical perspective. So to wrap this thing up with the pros and cons, for a pro, this thing is definitely maximum legal size carry-on. That rectangular shape allows you to have a lot of room inside of the pack for all of your stuff. The water-resistant water bottle pocket and the shoe compartment, as well as the laundry basket, are great features that are smart in thought and really good in practice. The straps are nicely padded and there's a good sternum strap on this as well. Onto some of the cons, the laptop positioning isn't ideal for access or carry. The duffel and shoulder strap system is a little bit clunky in practice. And the pack has seemingly tried to do too much. We wish they simplified it a little bit and just focused on a couple things versus trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink into the design. Overall, the Nomatic travel bag uses some high quality materials and has some very smart thinking behind it. However, with all the features going on, it seems greater in concept than it is in practice, and overall creates a clunky experience in some areas. Thanks for taking a look at our review on the Nomatic travel bag. Be sure to head over to packhacker.com/newsletter, sign up for our newsletter, and never miss an update. We'll see you in the next video. The water-resistant water bottle pocket, water-resistant water bottle pocket. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, that's a good feature. I like that. Good feature.